Hadoop is beginning to play a very increasingly important role in many of the enterprises' data warehousing landscape. There are three primary scenarios under which we see where Hadoop gets used in an enterprise data warehousing context. I call that the W++, ETL++, and Analytics++. The first scenario, DW++, is where Hadoop augments or replaces certain components of a traditional enterprise data warehouse. So if you look at any traditional classic data warehouse architecture, there are three different tiers. There's a landing zone or a staging area where you bring in data from all your source systems. There's usually a middle tier or a semantic tier where you're actually aggregating, correlating data, and probably maintaining it in third normal form. And then there are different types of data marts which are aggregated and provide views to your customers. Now we are increasingly seeing Hadoop take over that first tier, which is the landing zone, and actually provide aggregated views to the data marts or to your ADS. The second scenario is what I call ETL++, and where Hadoop really subsumes a function of your classic ETL. And typically where we see that being used is when you have large volumes of data and you have complex transformation. What Hadoop would do is it would offload some of those transformation activities from the ETL tool simply because it can scale better or it can scale at a more manageable cost. The third scenario, what I call Analytics++, is where Hadoop actually performs some of the analytic capabilities that you would typically expect out of enterprise data warehouse, simply because it's better suited to do certain things. So all these three different scenarios are not necessarily mutually exclusive. What it means is that different enterprises may have different entry points. They may start with they're using a Hadoop cluster to offload their ETL processing or to augment their data warehouse, or start with a specific analytics use case. But then it could evolve to start performing the other scenarios that I just mentioned.